Brown and Barker fight back earns Hampshire slender lead. An early burst of wickets from Hampshire tore through Yorkshire early on day one, leaving them 33 for 6 at one point. That's before Will Frayne and Dom Best mounted a recovery with dual 50s to carry them to a much improved 158 for 8 at the end of day one. 3 balls into the day, Abbott had his fifer though, and Yorkshire were down to their last wicket. Patterson caught behind for a duck, not the start the hosts were after. He finished it off too. Thompson outcaught by Dawson for 6 off the bowling of Abbott. Yorkshire had added just 1 to their overnight total, all out for 159. It had been a chastening experience for the hosts. Only Frayne and Best with 53 and 67 respectively had made it to double figures. Extras was the joint third top scorer on 8 with Revis. The lineup ripped to shreds by the Hampshire attack, led by Kyle Abbott with 6 for 36 and Mohammed Abbas with 3 for 25. Yorkshire had to attack from the off, and the long line of slip fielders produced results. Holland outcaught by Hill off code for a duck with just 3 on the board. Rain forced them off for a prolonged period, but almost as soon as they got back out there, Yorkshire produced another wicket. Felix Organ LBW to Thompson for 5, and off they went again, forced off by the rain once more, this time for an early lunch. Hampshire in a pickle at 5 for 2. It was a prolonged break, the rain refused to relent, but when play was possible, the pattern resumed. Gubbins out LBW to code for 4, Hampshire now 3 down. Weatherly and Vince moved the score to the cusp of 50 when Yorkshire had Hampshire 4 down. The number 3, LBW to Patterson for 23. The skipper didn't fare any better. 15 his return when he was outcaught by Kohler Cadmore. Not for the first time, Liam Dawson and Ben Brown had a recovery job on their hands, and at the very least stopped the flow of wickets for a time. But they weren't as successful as they'd hoped. Dawson out for 10, caught by Kohler Cadmore off the bowling of Thompson. Brown started to hit out, dispensing with his conservative approach. He was trying all he could to rescue the flagging innings and brought up 100 with a 4 off code. The pair were still together at tea, Barker and Brown walking off for the break with the score 112 for 6, trailing now by 47. Finally, Hampshire found some stability. Barker and Brown belligerent and battering their way to a 50-run partnership off 60 balls. Parity came into sharp focus. Barker blasted boundary after boundary, the recovery alive and kicking now. He needed just 49 balls to move to 50, up to the mark in style, lifting code straight back down the ground for 6. Hampshire now just 2 away from pulling level with their hosts. Barker eventually departed for 52, skewering a leading edge to subfielder Luxton off the bowling of Thompson. His job done, Hampshire were now in front. Brown must have had his heart in his mouth when he lifted one over the slip fielders, leaping in unison, but the ball was out of reach and the Hampshire keeper moved to 50 off 75. He'd fall to the next ball though, caught behind for 53, not sure whether to play or leave. Kyle Abbott can be just as tricky a competitor with the bat as he is with the ball, and showed that side of his abilities with James Fuller alongside him. The former Middlesex man took Hampshire to 200 with 4 driven through the offside to Patterson. Abbott would fall soon after, the ball looping off the edge into the hands of Kohler Cadmore off Patterson. And Thompson finished them off, a 5-wicket haul sealed when Kohler Cadmore held onto a skied catch at first slip. Hampshire all out for 218. They'd had to rely on the lower order to dig them out of a hole, but they'd been effective in their fight back. Brown and Barker both with 50s, and the advantage, a handy 59 runs despite Thompson's 5 for 60. And the day got better for them. George Hill out with Yorkshire yet to get off the mark. LBW to Mohammed Abbas. Lyth and Kohler Cadmore shut up shop for the rest of the day, the placid pace punctuated by the occasional boundary, the second wicket pair unbeaten at the close. The score, 23 for 1, Yorkshire 36 in arrears. It wouldn't be a surprise if this low-scoring game finishes on day 3, such has been the speed at which it's rattled along, despite the repeated weather-enforced disruptions. As it stands, Hampshire are the happier side, but their advantage is far from imposing, and Yorkshire have it in them to turn this around.